Yeah, good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon. How y'all doing? I hope everyone is keeping safe. It's been a while now. It's been a while now. I haven't done any live on YouTube. Yeah, good afternoon, everyone. Yeah, it's been a while. I haven't got to do any video on YouTube. You know, I wake up this afternoon just to hear the news that Donald Oliver, sports broadcaster, analyst, has passed away. You know, so sad. He was with Sportsmax for some time. And then after Sportsmax departure, he went to the Jamaica Observer. And we heard that he was feeling some chest pains. And he just suddenly passed away. So, at the age of 40, trust me, life is so precious, my viewers. Life is so precious. Life is so precious, and trust me, we really have to give thanks each and every day that we get life. To just give love, show God appreciation, and just make it while the sun shines. Because in the splint of an eye, it will blow away. We have to give God thanks and praise each and every day that we have life. So I want to say my deepest condolences to Donald Oliver family, the Jamaica Observer, the sporting fraternity, and friends, well wishers. I just want to say my deepest condolences to Donald Oliver. You know, people out there, please don't take anything for granted. Starting to feel some pain, and it looks a little bit more than the normal. Don't be shy. Go to the doctor and check it out. Go to the doctor and check it out. Don't play no ear, my people. Don't play no ear at all. It's not worth playing an ear. Trust me, Donald Oliver, he was one of those analysts that I love to listen to, When champs time come around, track and field, football, he was a good analyst, I can't remember if he ever commentated on cricket, but which I think he did, but it's just not fresh in my memory right now. The cricket part of it is just not fresh in my memory right now, but I think he basically commentated on everything. He was one of those relaxed type of commentator. And I would say he was a fair analyst also. Yeah, I would say it was fair. A lot of time as a analyst, sometimes some people tend to be a little bit prejudiced based on the fact that the team that they support, and if on a given day they are doing some commentary on that particular team. Some people tend to be a little bit bias. But I would say that Donald Oliver, he was fair, I can't recall anything per se with him that he was definitely biased on this or that occasion. Yeah, my supporters. So if you really see me around, if you don't see me going live and stuff like that, I'm still around, sometimes just work and all, and trying to build my TikTok page, trying to build my my Facebook page. So I'm in around all around the state, just trying to make it happen in different areas. I can just imagine how his co-workers feel this morning. We know that more than likely he would have been heading to work this morning. I didn't get any news if he probably took sick from yesterday, or it was just a early morning situation, I'm not sure. But regardless, it's a sad situation. It's a sad day for the sporting world. We also hearing of a former Sri Lankan cricketer, that passed away. Former Sri Lankan cricketer that passed away. And you know, I was a little bit surprised. I didn't know that Donald Oliver was so young. You know, not to say that he looks old, you know, but I was thinking that, you know, he looks a little bit mature. I was thinking that maybe he was like 40 something or so, or you know. But I've never really like looked on him and, you know, tried to give an assessment or anything. But I was just saying, maybe because he looks mature, I was probably saying, thinking that he would have been 40 something, you know. Yeah. Mysterious Myers, I want to wish you all the best for the remainder of the year. Basically, I have 1.5 day left in 2025. I want to wish you all the best. Yard foods, the amazing Andre, School of Jamaica TV, Sports Circle Chief 05, you know, Trevor Essence, the Maya's Way. All my other subscribers and commenters out there, man. You know, cheers, even the viewers, you know. Because some people might just view and they do not subscribe or like, you know, they may just watch, but they don't interact like that. I want to give you all thanks just the same, you know. Your support goes a far way. Every view make a difference, you know. Every view makes a difference. Thank you so much for the thumbs up. Thank you so much for the thumbs up, everyone. Just here in the kitchen, my viewers. Not really doing much. I'm thinking what I'm going to cook a little bit from now. I'm coming back, my viewers. Give me a few. Yeah, my supporters, I'm coming back. Just give me a few minutes. Yeah, my viewers. Not really at my 100% best today. When to get another procedure done. Are you a what? Good afternoon, good afternoon. Thank you so much everyone for passing through. fast. Hopefully you get some subscribers. Huh? Yeah, my supporters. Yeah, my supporters. So, you know, if you're just joining, I just want to let you know, sadly, that veteran sports broadcaster Donald Oliver, he has passed away. We heard that he reports of some chest pain. I didn't get the news if he passed away while going to the hospital or where, but the news alone says it all. My deepest condolences to Donald Oliver. Family, friends, and everyone else. Yeah, my supporters. So, sad to say that Donald Oliver is no longer with us. Yeah, my viewers, so trust me, Donald Oliver, may your soul rest in peace. Yeah, my viewers, so Donald Oliver, so they said that he passed away suddenly this morning after suffering a medical emergency. So he's a journalist, commentator, television presentator, producer and writer. Over 2 decades, Donald Oliver built an extensive, influential career across Jamaica's major broadcasting media house, spanning radio, television, live commentary and sports production. Over the past several, over the, Oliver most recently served as senior producer at Sportsmax Limited, a role he held from 2014, based in Kingston. So trust me, this man, he has a large reputation so far, So all over the media, you can see, Donald Oliver. Deepest condolences to him, and his family. So small people, we really and truly have to just give God thanks for life, trying to make the most out of life, Stop hating and hating each other, because we just don't know what's next for tomorrow, People should just try and live peacefully, joyfully, each and every day. Yeah, my supporters. So we have the English Premier League going on just now. Newcastle leading Burnley 2-1. Chelsea and Bournemouth 2-2. Everton leading Nottingham Forest 1-0. West Ham leading Brighton 2-1. Manchester United leading Wolves 1-0. Aston Villa and Arsenal 0-0. So that Arsenal match there is a very interesting match. If Aston Villa wins, Aston Villa will go second on the table, right behind Arsenal. And Arsenal win, Arsenal will go further up on 45 points in the number 1 slot. So some stiff competition going on right there. You know, the top 3: Arsenal, Manchester City, Aston Villa. You know, the 4th spot between Manchester United, Liverpool, Chelsea, Sunderland in and around the mix there, Everton in and around the mix. You know, what we're really expecting one out of those 3 bigger teams, whether it be Manchester United, Liverpool, or Chelsea, to really fight for that 4th spot, and one out of those 3 teams also will be fighting for that 5th spot also. So you know, a lot of competitions, a lot of games left to be played. You know, so it's gonna be very interesting to see how these teams progresses as time goes by. You know, it's a possibility that anyone within lower up to 10th or so can probably fight to get up into the top 5. You know, you just never know. So let me see Manchester United. Joshua Zerkey scored for Manchester United. In the African Cup of Nations, Senegal leading Benin 2-0. The Republic of Congo leading Botswana 3-0. So things looking good there so far for some of these African teams. In the Scottish Premiership, Rangers leading St Mirren 1-0. Motherwell leading Celtic 1-0. Dundee United leading Livingston 1-0. Aberdeen and Hibernia 0-0. Kilmarnock 1-0 over Dundee FC. You know, we saw in the Saudi Premier League, the Pro League today, Al Nassr jarred with El Ifikuta. Al Hilal win 2-0. You know, so Cristiano Ronaldo scored once. He's how far is he? He currently tied with Joan Felix with the most goal, 13 so far. So they lead with 31 points. So all eyes on the English Premier League. So Brighton has just scored back on West Ham. So that match is 2-2. West Ham is fighting for their life. You know, trying to get out of the regulation zone, while Brighton trying to climb up the ladder. So some stiff competition going on right there. So Senegal leading 2-0 with a red card. Koulibaly picking up a straight red. Not sure what that was all about. But straight red by Koulibaly. Yo, brother, bless up. What going? So Senegal finishing 3-0. Manchester United and Wolves 1-1. So Chelsea still 2-2. Newcastle leading 2-1. Brighton and West Ham 2-2. Arsenal and Aston Villa still 0.
Alright, I when you work? Tomorrow?
Yeah, tomorrow night me work. So Everton has just doubled their lead. So Everton now leading 2-0. Everton leading 2-0, my people. I would really love if Chelsea could find a way to get this 3 points. I really think that Chelsea could have been right up there, giving Arsenal and Manchester City some trouble, along with Aston Villa. But Chelsea dropped so much points. Chelsea have dropped so much points, my viewers. hoping that Chelsea can really find their footing because based on what I'm seeing going on in the table so far, it's going to be a ding-dong battle for the last 18 games. You know, it's going to be a ding-dong battle to see who can make it automatically to the Champions League. And I really think that Chelsea has a squad, you know. I really think that they have the squad, you know, can really get the work done. But I just think that something there is just lacking. I just can't really find exactly what it is, you know. But I'm hoping that they can get it right sooner rather than later because things are boiling down, you know. Things are boiling down, so they need to start buckle down. They need to start buckle down right now. They really need to start buckle down. So if you're just joining, just to let you know that sports journalist Donald Oliver, you know, he has passed away. At the age of 40. So as we close the year, my viewers, you know, we want to assess Jamaica and the West Indies. You know, the men's cricket team and the women's cricket team not doing too well. You know, the men's on that side now, you know, they definitely over the years have been getting a lot of games that I think they should have been winning, but for one reason or the other, they have decided against winning. You know, they have decided against winning, and I just think that for 2026, the West Indies, they need to play harder cricket, you know? They need to play harder cricket. I see teams like Australia, England, New Zealand, South Africa, you know, Sri Lanka, Bangladesh, you know, these cricketing nations playing hard cricket. Pakistan, you know, I think they're playing good enough cricket, you know. And forever, people, the West Indies cricketers forever blame the facility. You understand me? But a lot of time when they go out there and to bat, they are doing foolishness. You understand me? They are doing foolishness. And I don't know, I think for 2026, I hope that Cricket West Indies can find a way how to, like, you know, build a partnership with India. Try to get some of these cricketers going to India. You know, maybe spend a few weeks there or a month or two. You know, trying to develop their skills. You know, but all in all, I really think that if some of these cricketers were really hungry, I think if some of these cricketers were really hungry, like, you know, they're in a case where they can hardly make ends meet for their families and themselves. You know, I really think that some of these cricketers would have been trying to go out there and do a little bit better. You know, but I tend to think that these cricketers, some of them have probably passed the worst, and they are able to sail without a paddle, you know, one way or the other. So I think as a result of that, we don't really see the hungerness in these cricketers, you know. We don't see the hungerness. We don't see the wanting of these cricketers that they want to make a name for themselves, to help West Indies, you know. And when you look at it, so many T20 franchises are playing around the world, you know. So if these cricketers are really thinking, they would be doing their best to go out there and make a name for themselves, you know. But as I said earlier on, I don't think some of these cricketers are hungry, you know. And when I say hungry, I don't mean to say like they are dying for hunger, you know. But I also mean in terms of they're not hungry to really go out there, play good cricket, um, travel the world, you know, help to um, sell their brand out there, you know, invest for the future and stuff like that, you know. I really don't see where some of these cricketers are really on that pathway. Right now, Cricket West Indies is in a spot right now where they need to be looking for a test captain. They need to be looking for a wicket keeper who can help himself, you know. So Cricket West Indies is in a bad spot at the moment, you know. And if I'm telling lies, you can comment and tell me, you know. But as where things stands right now, Tevin Imlat definitely needs to improve on his craft, you know. So I'm checking some scorelines here. Chelsea, Bournemouth 2-2. Newcastle still leading 2-1. Everton leading 2-0. West Ham and Brighton 2-2. Manchester United and Wolves 1-1. Arsenal and Aston Villa 0-0. So Everton game coming to a close. Chelsea game coming to a close. Newcastle game coming to a close. West Ham game coming to a close. You know, the Aston Villa Arsenal game and Manchester United game, they started a little bit late. So Rangers leading St. Mary 2-0. Motherwell leading Celtic 2-0. Leading Aberdeen 1-0. Dundee United leading Livingston 1-0. And Dundee FC leading Kilmarnock 2-1. So that is in the Scottish League. Hold on, someone getting a chance here. Arsenal getting a chance to score. So Arsenal has scored. Arsenal just scored, my viewers. So this is a very interesting match for both teams. Arsenal looks to extend their lead, while Aston Villa looks to draw closer. So Everton game has finished. Everton winning over Nottingham Forest 2-0. Nice win there for Everton. You know, help to boost their confidence heading towards the new year. So we see where Arsenal goal is under review. Arsenal goal is under review. Come on, Chelsea. Can Chelsea find that late winner, my viewers? Come on, Chelsea. Chelsea have been dropping too much points now. Seems like the Arsenal goal has stand. Gabriel. Seems like the Arsenal goal stands, my viewers. So Newcastle getting another goal. Newcastle getting a big chance. Will they take it? They are already leading Burnley 2-1. Let us see. Come on, Chelsea. Come on, Chelsea. Can Chelsea find a late winner? So Newcastle has scored. They lead in Burnley 3-1. So this is an away victory for Newcastle. Yes, my viewers, so trust me, there is a men's T20 World Cup next year, and a lot is at stake for the West Indies, a lot is at stake. We definitely have the players, that we think can perform, but are they delivering? Are they delivering? Sometimes the West Indies get some game to win, and one way or the other, the West Indies find a way how to give it away. And I know for sure that Afghanistan is not going to just sit down and allow the West Indies to come at them. In that series, I'm not sure if any T20 leagues will be playing up to that time, but I should think that most of the senior players on both teams should and would make themselves available, ahead of the World Cup preparations. I think they should make themselves available. The West Indies now would need to find a way how to counter Afghanistan. We know that the West Indies they have a 2-match test series versus Pakistan next year. We look forward for that test series in the new year. In my previous video that I did, I was assessing the West Indies, based on what is going on with the West Indies team at the moment. Do they go back for Craig Brathwaite as a captain? Do they stick with Rastan Chase? Do they ask Shea Hope if he can rethink his decision? A lot of questions will be on the table. Was Jamel Warrican selection as a vice captain, was it political? A lot of these questions will be asked, Will West Indies continue with Floyd Reefer as a batting coach? Do you think Ravi Rampal is doing a good job so far with the bowlers? And much more questions. A lot more questions, my viewers. A lot more questions to be answered. What changes can Cricket West Indies do? I personally don't expect Kemar Roach to play past 2026. You know, I would really love for him to get a home game to announce his retirement. But if that opportunity, whether it be the ODI or the Test Arena, you know, I would say that if he does not get the opportunity in the Test Arena to announce his retirement, you know, at home, I think he should definitely, West Indies should definitely try and give him that opportunity in the ODI arena, you know. Or whether or not, you know, if he have to retire on an overseas soil, you know, that will be the case. You know, the memories will normally be there. Should Cricket West Indies go back for Joshua De Silva? Or should they go for Amir Django, give him a fair opportunity? Should they try Will the youngster Joel Andrew? You know? What are your thoughts, my viewers? What are your thoughts? What are the views for 2026? We have the Jamaica Reggae Boys. You know, their last step for qualifications for the 2026 World Cup. You know, they would have to play New Caledonia and then hope to get past New Caledonia to play the Republic of Congo, and then they would make it to the World Cup. But do the Reggae Boys have the guts? You know, we have already been hearing some talks. The players don't want other players to be included, and they have done a bulk of the work. Is that fair to say? You know, there are so much questions regarding the Jamaica Football Federation right now. We get to understand that Hubert Busby Jr., his contract as a women's head coach will finish tomorrow. You know, so we're seeing where Michael Ricketts, you know, was giving his backing. So we're expecting Busby to be there, you know, in helping the Jamaica Reggae Girls to qualify for our next Women's World Cup. You know, they have some tough games, a few tough games for 2026. You know, I think our next match would be Nicaragua, if I'm not mistaken. And the Nicaraguans, I would say, is a pretty decent team. So the Reggae Girls don't have any time Reggae girls don't have any time to play around. Yeah, my hands are a little bit wet, my viewers, so I cannot get to go look back on the scores right now. Just give me a minute, my viewers. So I'm gonna check the scores now, my viewers. So in the English Premier League, Newcastle defeated Burnley 3-1. Chelsea and Bournemouth 2-2. Everton 2-0 over Nottingham Forest. West Ham and Brighton 2-2. Arsenal leading Aston Villa 2-0. Manchester United and Wolves 1-1. Rangers leading St Mirren 2-1. Motherwell leading Celtic 2-0. Aberdeen leading Aberdeen 2-0.
I wonder if
Yes, Arsenal getting another chance, my viewers. Arsenal getting another chance. So, trust me, things are really within Arsenal favor, my viewers. I think it's just Arsenal to just maintain it. You know, we have seen a fluctuated season for Manchester City. So, and things not 100% for Liverpool. So I really think that things are in good hands for Arsenal. You know, Arsenal just have to just try to find a way out to Arsenal have to just try to find a way out to hold on. You know, it would be lovely if Arsenal could hold on. You know, even though I would really love Chelsea to be that one, but trust me, Chelsea have been playing hot and cold, you know. I definitely know that the Arsenal fans is doing their best to try and win this one. And I would say that the coach, should continue to do whatever he's doing. You know. While Aston Villa would love to be that one that upset the crowd. While Manchester City just sits close behind, just waiting on Arsenal. Just waiting on Arsenal to put their toe so they can take over the lead, you know. So some very interesting days ahead, you know. But I'm really happy to see, you know, afternoon. I'm really happy to see Arsenal playing a little bit of football. You know, over the past couple of years they have been hot and cold. So I'm really happy to see them playing a little bit of football. So we really look to see if they can finish the season on a high. 2026 is going to be a big challenge for them. Is going to be a big challenge for them. So I think what 19 games remaining. So I should think that if they can win at least 15 out of those 19 games, and hoping that other results go their way, I should think that they should win the Premier League. But you know, Manchester City sits close behind right now, so there is little or no room for error for Arsenal. You know, and Aston Villa wants to go all the way. You know, they have to just continue playing the best football they can play. So, Coach Mikel Arteta, he would definitely know what is at stake right now for 2026. You know, he would definitely have to just, get his troops on, put on their warrior kit for 2026, and I think the rest will be history. You know, um, a lot of those players, are young players. So I know that a lot of them are hungry for success. You know, I know that a lot of them are hungry for success. So they will definitely want to go all the way next year. Hello? Yeah, my supporters, so we're looking to see what the Jamaica Reggae Boys can do for 2026. Jamaica Sunshine Girls, Jamaica Reggae Girls. Just praying for success for Jamaica overall, Sorry. I want to pray for our athletes also. Some of our athletes did not have the best year in 2025. So I want to wish them more success.